What if I told you that every woman who has ever felt something for you, desire, curiosity, longing, has already shown you, but not with words, not with direct confession. Instead, she used a language far older, far more primal, and far more honest than anything you could ever read in a text. Most men miss it, not because they're foolish, but because they were never taught how to see. The signs are always there, in the eyes, the tone, the distance, the timing. If you don't know what to look for, it all feels like randomness. But the truth? Attraction is never random. And once you learn to see how a woman reveals her interest, in movement, not words, your entire view of connection changes. Let's begin at the root. It starts with the gaze, not a stare, not the kind of gaze you can plan. It's the double glance. The one that happens when her eyes catch you, break away, and then come back. That second look isn't just curiosity, it's biological vulnerability. A moment where the mask slips and her instinct speaks louder than her logic. You may dismiss it, most men do, but once you understand it, you'll never forget that look again. It will haunt you, it will call to you, because that glance, silent as it is, screams, "I see you." And it doesn't stop there. Women reveal attraction through proximity. When a woman wants to be near you, she'll find reasons. She'll orbit. You'll find her in the same rooms, the same circles. You didn't ask her to be there, but she is. She chooses the chair beside you when 5 others are empty. She lingers in the hallway. She doesn't rush off after conversations. This is her positioning. She won't pursue directly. Most women won't, but they will place themselves in your orbit. Close enough to be noticed, far enough to still claim plausible deniability. That's the dance. Next comes the touch. Not overt, not romantic, not yet. It might be playful. A light brush of the arm, a tap on the shoulder, her leg grazing yours under the table. These are not accidents, they're tests, subtle probes into your awareness. She wants to know if you feel it too, if you'll respond, if you're attuned to her cues. This is not the time to leap forward, it's the time to ground yourself, to hold frame, because if you react with desperation, the moment collapses. But if you respond with calm recognition, the energy between you deepens. And then comes the laugh. You know the one, the kind of laugh that seems almost too much for what you said. You didn't say anything especially funny, but she laughs anyway, and not just politely. It's full-bodied. It escapes her before she can control it. That's not about humor, that's about chemistry. Her body is syncing with yours. She's attuning to your emotional wavelength. If she starts using your phrases, repeating your jokes, referencing things you said days ago, she's not just listening, she's remembering, integrating, becoming part of your story. But perhaps the most telling sign of all is contrast, how she behaves around you versus others. Does she become more animated or quieter? Does she touch her hair more, adjust her clothes, suddenly become more aware of her posture? These shifts are subtle but revealing. A woman who's interested often doesn't feel in control around you. Her behavior adapts to the tension she feels. She may not even understand why. But you should. You're the constant in the equation. You are the stimulus that disrupts her normal pattern. Women also reveal themselves through attention. In an era of distractions, nothing is more powerful than full focus. If she's leaning in when you speak, if her eyes don't wander to her phone, if she asks questions and digs deeper than surface-level talk, she's investing. That investment is rarely accidental, especially if it's consistent. If she shows up again and again, engages you, recalls details about your life, she's not being polite, she's signaling. And these signals only intensify over time. Teasing is another revealing mechanism. If she mocks your haircut, gives you a silly nickname, or playfully challenges your opinions, it's not rejection, it's tension. And tension is the raw material of desire. It's the emotional tug-of-war that builds spark. Most men fear it. They misread it as disinterest. But a woman who teases is paying attention. She's investing energy, testing your resilience. She wants to know, can you hold your own? Can you stay composed while the emotional current rises? And then there's the most haunting sign of all, absence. What does she do when you're not around? Do her friends mention you? Do you hear that your name came up in conversations you weren't part of? That's not random, that's imprint. If you live in her mind long enough to echo into her social sphere, you're more than a passing thought. You're a presence, an influence, and she may never say it directly. But her world has started rearranging around the gravity you bring. Attraction isn't declared, it's revealed, not with fanfare, not with romantic monologues, but with the tiny cracks in her usual patterns, the gaze that lasts a heartbeat too long, the shoulder brush, the echo of your name in distant conversations. And once you learn to read it, the game changes. You stop chasing words, you start feeling energy, and when that happens, you begin to live in a world of clarity that few ever reach. A world where the feminine doesn't need to speak, because her silence says everything. This is that world, and it should be perfection.